Welcome to Film Bluffs, a place for free-range, non-GMO, dog water opinions. So come on in, take a seat, and let's make fun of the kid with no internet.
Music fades in. Welcome, Jabronacrons, to another episode of Film Bluffs. It is I, your host, Marshall, joined by my good old pal. I gesture to Trace.
Over there. Hi, I'm Trace. You might notice that our setup looks a little differently. A few of us are in different locations.
Wait, don't forget the bit.
Oh, one sec. I'm getting. There's something going on here. What? Hey, do you mind? We're doing a. Oh, hi, Freya. We're doing a bit. Okay. Wait, hold on. What? There's something peeking in on that screen. There. What's that in the distance? I fucking hate this. I don't know if I should cover my ears or not.
Oh, wow.
This is off to a great start. He's choppy, the video and everything. This is so cool.
Who's this character?
No,
Jobe, is that you? Or
no, I'm a new character.
why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm the spirit of October, but you can call me John Halloween.
Hi, John Halloween. Good to meet you, buddy.
I stroke and I couldn't remember what the fucking movie was called. Apologies for
It's
any
called
little
Cobweb.
apologies for any echoing. As you can tell, John Halloween is staying with me for the weekend and possibly the next couple of weekends.
Weekend. It's a
Ooh,
Tuesday.
it's a Tuesday.
All right, that's enough from you, boy.
That's good. That's good. Oh dear God. Alrighty. So we have a special treat. We're getting into the week of October, first week of October here. So we're watching it. We watched a scary movie. We're going back to our roots a little bit here.
Dude, it was so scary. Okay,
Marshall
I have to get this off my chest. So I'm sitting there on the couch.
Oh,
My
okay.
cat likes to lay on the couch like pillow above me, and there's like this really quiet. You know, like when movies they get quiet, like horror movies, and you know some shit's about to happen. You're waiting for the jump scare. Out of nowhere, my cat fell asleep and like twitched and then like kicked me in the head, and I fucking jumped. I'm sitting there just like watching. I'm waiting for it, and then boom. The rest of the movie was scary. It should terrified me.
It was honestly, I was pleasantly surprised. It's a 2023 movie. It's called Cobweb, and I've just not been super thrilled with horror movies as of late. They kind of seem a little meh, but this one was actually not too bad. So in the story, we're following Peter and his family. They live in this sick prairie-like house with an old-timey swing that is in a big pumpkin patch. They call it a garden, but whatever. Peter starts to hear noises from inside his bedroom walls, and his parents just kind of dismiss them as being part of his overactive imagination. Peter is hiding from the bullies at recess in his in his classroom with Miss Divine, his substitute teacher, when he is startled by a spider. And with the combined efforts of Peter and his substitute, they capture the spider and they put it outside. We then return to the prairie home to find out that Peter's parents have just kind of hate Halloween and won't let him dress up for trick-or-treating because some little girl went out and never came back a few years ago. So Peter once again is hearing noises in his walls, but this time it was a little girl saying his name, but saying, "Hey, don't tell anybody that I'm in here." So Peter then calls for his dad because he's freaked out, who once again dismisses it as being rats in the walls. The rats along his back. The cool voice in the walls tells Peter to get revenge on Brian the bully, who has been just terrorizing him for probably years. I don't know. So Peter pushes this kid down the stairs and breaks both of his legs in retaliation. Peter is then scolded for breaking the kid and drawing a scary picture, and Daddy Homelander grounds him and banishes him to the secret basement behind the fridge. Miss Divine shows up at the house to check on Peter after being expelled, and Peter tries to bang on the door to yell for help, but the dishwasher is really loud, and no one can hear him. The parents scream at Miss Divine until she leaves. Peter is let out under the condition that he has no more nightmares and that he will now be homeschooled by his mother. Peter goes back to talk to his wall friend and finds a huge hole in the wall to see his friend and play catch. She reveals herself as his sister, who needs his help to get out and escape their evil, evil parents. Peter has this really funny nightmare sequence where his parents are just completely unhinged and are like blinking really fast at him and clattering their teeth. His mom does this like weird stance where she's just like all stanced up in the hallway and then sprints at him, and then it like does a little really slow fade to dark in the hallway, and then goes again and she just jumps at him. It's pretty. I like it. I thought it was pretty funny. Peter eventually mixes some rat poison in with the soup to try and kill his parents, and he succeeds. Daddy Homelander picks up on this plan just a little bit too late and starts vomiting while Mom tries to dial 911 from the phone that has a cut cord. As Daddy Dearest is dying, she grabs a knife and starts chasing Peter around, but Peter remembers his training and he pushes her down the stairs. She stabs herself and is in the process of dying. She gets a couple of raspy words out there. But Peter then releases his sister from behind the grandfather clock that also has a secret door. This house is full of secret doors. But she doesn't appear to be what she claims. And what's this? Brian shows up at the house, but he brings his cousins, and they have animal masks and hockey sticks and baseball bats. Sister Sarah starts skittering around the house, killing everyone, while Miss Divine speeds over to Peter's house and almost hits a little girl dressed up as a princess. It's worth noting, Sister Sarah is like, when I say skittering, she's not just like crawling on the floor. She is crawling like across the ceiling and like on the walls all around. It's a pretty creepy sequence. I do like it. Miss Divine arrives to see the carnage throughout the house and rescues Peter. However, Peter gets immediately captured again and thrown into the pit. Peter then Rapunzels his way out of the pit when his sister's hair just kind of falls in there because she's been in the wall for years and no haircuts. Miss Divine helps subdue her by beating the shit out of her with a fire poker and drops her back down, locking her in once more. Afterwards, presumably Peter goes to live with Miss Divine, as Sarah describes how she is going to haunt Peter for the rest of his life. You know, every creak, every tap in the wall, every shadow is going to be him wondering, did she get out? And is she coming back for him?
Yeah, that was the movie. It was a little scary, a little freaky. John Halloween. John Halloween. What are your thoughts? I don't want to ask anymore.
I thought the scariest part was when they said they didn't like Halloween.
Oh, yeah. For me, I really enjoyed it because it wasn't like super paranormal or anything crazy like a Conjuring or like an Exorcist. It was just like, yeah, we've got this chick that we keep locked up in the house for like, I don't know, the last 20,000 years of her life. Don't let her out, and we're gonna be dicks about it for our whole lives.
Yeah, it does bring a good element of like, we can get into maybe her having some kind of supernatural ability. I don't know. That's a little up there. But she doesn't have like any master manipulation. Like in Sinister, there is like the whole premise is the demon's really good at mystically manipulating kids. This girl is just good at nice, good old-fashioned manipulation. And it kind of helps that the parents are actually just pieces of shit. Yeah. And it does not help their case when she's like, yeah, they're evil. They've done terrible things. And the kid could be like, no, that's not true. Except he was locked in the fucking basement. And like he's getting yelled at for a bunch of shit that he like, I heard noises in the wall. Any other parent would be like, oh no, hey, it's all right. But they're like, you need to shut up. You don't hear voices.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. I mean, that's my thing. It's like, maybe it wouldn't have worked if the parents were like, hey, do you want to go Halloweening around and having fun? And his parents like, hey, we're going to trap you in the fucking basement and we're going to, kind of bully you and we're going to make fun of you and we're going to belittle you.
Which, the trick-or-treating thing is just weird to me. Like, yes, I understand that this little girl went missing many moons ago, once upon a Hallows Eve. However, we learned that she went missing because the parents killed her for finding out that their daughter's a fucking freak. And B, what's up, Joe? Or sorry, John Halloween?
Ooh, I have a different interpretation.
What is that?
I believe it was the daughter Sarah what killed the girl.
I'm pretty sure it's confirmed that they killed her because they didn't want the secret getting out.
Secret.
But we hear that from Sarah, who is a lying bitch.
That is fair. I will give you that. Sarah is kind of spinning her own narrative there.
As the local Halloween man, I, for one, also believe there must be something supernatural at foot. For how else can you explain Sarah learning to climb in the fucking walls like
So
he's a goddamn Spider-Man?
I was gonna get into that. She does seem to have some kind of enhanced abilities. Like, yeah, she can climb on the walls and like cling to them without any kind of hand or footholds. She was not only able to make like clean cuts into people's flesh, but like also just cleanly cut through their clothes. And she also seems to tear heads from bodies pretty easily, and even bisects one of the bullies.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they're like when they said she was born a monster, it wasn't like, oh, she was disfigured. She was actually born a monster.
Yeah, so
I mean,
like
you saw her face at the end, right? Like,
yeah, it's got some really really
Cheshire
weird.
cat.
A little bit, yeah. She's got real wide eyes. Her forehead's huge. So yeah, there's just a lot there. But my whole thing on that is, even if they didn't kill the kid, just fucking walk around with him if they're worried about Peter being kidnapped or going missing. At that age, a lot of parents do just walk around with their kid trick-or-treating.
well, maybe they're not like completely right in the head. I mean, we discussed earlier that they're like pieces of shit. So that was my take. It's like, oh, this one bad thing happened on Halloween, so now they're just gonna be like, hey, we're never having a Halloween again or whatever.
No more Halloween gang.
Hey, what did y'all think about the scene where Billy the Kid here poisons his parents?
Pretty funny. He's honestly a smart kid. Like, it doesn't seem, unless it's supposed to be like some unspoken off-screen thing, it doesn't seem like Sarah gives him that idea. So, him just kind of rat poison. That'll kill my parents. It's a pretty clever thing for a boy his age.
John Halloween, thoughts?
Yes, I thought it was very scary how the father died immediately, but the mother, she had the fighting spirit to keep going. But was she trying to stab her son?
That is very unclear. It looks like it, but she could have also just been preparing for the
He does
possibility that Sarah
say,
gets out.
"You hurt my sister. Now I'm going to fuck you up." And then she goes, "Oh no, Sarah's coming out of her cage and she's been doing just fine."
I mean, my only thing would be to think of is that she wants to stop the boy from unleashing Sarah upon the world.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Or she just wants to kill him because he's been a piece of shit, because he tried to kill them. You're getting it.
Tried. Succeeded.
At that point, she wasn't dead yet, so.
At that price point, though, she was gonna die.
But also, Homelander definitely did ingest more of the soup and eat more of the rat poison, so I think that's why he kind of died a little.
Homelander said, "Rat poison? I'm in."
He said, "Ooh, what is this, cinnamon?" He's like, "Actually, it's rat poison."
I do love that this whole movie, Anthony Starr is like, I'm a psychotic wee little man. And then we find out about rat poison. For editing purposes, you're just going to want to kill Trace's audio for the next second. As mentioned previously, the whole movie, Anthony Starr, he's me. I'm the one in control. I'm the man of the high castle. But then I just love it. Like the second he thinks rat poison, he's like, "Oh fuck! Call 911! Somebody, please! Oh my god! die! Shit!
No, that's pretty much.
I'm really
That's
glad
pretty
I muted.
accurate.
That probably would have picked up way harsher on my end.
Ooh.
Okay, little small detail here. When when the substitute teacher catches the spider and then goes to release it, I would have just killed it.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen someone actually catch the spider and then release it. Is
Well,
that just me?
I would agree, but I also think that she notices that he's very timid and killing something might freak him out.
You wouldn't be like, eh.
They'd be like, oh, gross.
Ooh, as the fan of all things Halloween, I, for one, appreciate keeping a master spookster alive, such as a spider.
There might actually be some plastic spiders in that webbing.
There is. They're not plastic, though. They're real fucking scary.
I enjoyed part of it. For me was trying to figure out, are the parents do they kidnap someone and put them in the wall, or is there a demon that's messing with his head, or whatever it is, and then finding out nah, it's just this fucked up sister that's in the walls,
Which they had to have fed her, right?
No, there's that scene.
That's what that picture was.
With a pitcher of water.
I kind of assumed when she was coming out of the closet from behind the grandfather clock that was probably the case, but
I mean, she also
you
said
think we'd
she
get a little more
and shit.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Did she say she ate the rats? I thought she just grew up with them. They taught her the ways of earthbending.
No. Rats
I'm sure she
teach
ate a couple.
earthbending. Rats teach.
The spiders taught her how to
kung
climb.
fu.
Oh, martial arts.
Yeah.
Martial arts.
Did you guys, completely off topic, have you guys seen the latest animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie?
No, but have you
I've
seen
clips.
this new Transformers movie that came out? I heard it's a fucking banger, actually.
I've heard it's a banger too. But they didn't bring back Peter Cullen for Optimus Prime.
Weird choice.
Because it's young Optimus.
I don't care. Optimus Prime has sounded 40 his entire life. He got into 6th grade and he said, I can count by twos.
And tie my shoes.
Hey, it's Franklin.
Hey, it's Franklin.
This might be an awful episode.
Might be. We got John Halloween here.
Me, John Halloween.
No, but compared to other scary movies we've watched before that weren't scary, I'm thinking of Winchester. That movie sucked.
That one never got aired, so it doesn't matter.
Ooh, the scariest thing of all, technical difficulties.
I'm experiencing it now.
Ooh.
No, give me a second to look at a movie that we reviewed that sucked.
Yeah,
that
go
was
for
scary.
it. There's no amount of soundproofing I could have done to prepare for John Halloween today.
Yeah, I don't know what.
You can never prepare for John Halloween. He finds you.
I tried as hard as I can. I'm very sorry.
Tremors, that sucked. Wasn't even scary.
It was a comedy movie, you dick.
Why are you defending it? That's Jobe's pick, Mr. John Halloween.
I'm picking it because to imply that it is a Halloween movie, it's a disgrace name.
That one also wasn't
Empty
scary.
Man. Empty Man was awful. That was such a dog shit movie.
Ant-Man?
Empty Man.
Empty Man.
Empty Man. Anyways, but yeah, this movie was.
Neither of you said a certain Vivarium movie.
That's not scary.
I've completely just.
Also, I've been re-listening to some episodes because I get bored, and I do think that we're funny. That I might be our only fan as of now.
Only fan.
You know what? 20 views on here. We'll start it. The Film Bluffs OnlyFans.
Ooh.
We haven't even started our Patreon that we've talked about numerous times for no reason.
We don't have the support to even begin considering.
That's true.
We don't have the votes,
somebody give us money.
The districts, they've been gerrymandered against us. Kill Tony has all the VRs.
Yeah.
Talk to her. She will be I won't promote violence on this platform.
I don't know. I don't know if I like the characters anymore.
As soon as Jobe sent a message saying I got 2 characters ideas this week.
As soon as Jobe left the podcast, it's really just got downhill.
Ooh, but Jobe made many appearances on the last episode.
Did you actually listen to it? It's crazy.
You were going somewhere with something. I was saying how this movie was actually scary, and I was sitting there holding my wife's foot in support. She was asleep. Wait. She's like, "I'm gonna fall asleep, but you can hold my foot."
But she told us that she wasn't there when you watched it.
Well, part of it she wasn't.
Marshall's wife has been dead this whole time.
I mean, yeah, I think it does a good job at being suspenseful, if anything. I think it carries the suspense pretty well throughout most of the movie. So I think that really helps kind of bring out that scare factor that we kind of miss in some of the other movies we've watched.
This is the part in the episode where Trace goes, if I was a little bullied, timid, little gullible little 4-year-old, I wouldn't have been in this situation. I would have killed Bathsheba with a broomstick.
So, having previously said that I've been listening and watching our previous episodes and having that part fresh in my mind, I was thinking about this while watching the movie. I can't think of anything in this movie that I would have been like, if I were in this, I wouldn't have done that. Like, ooh. I probably would have been in the same boat for the most part as a child.
Out the window as a child in the bedroom.
That's not a bad idea. Right? It's got an awning.
Something in front of the door.
See, look at the fucking ribs.
He just like closed the door and he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go hide under my bed that's like 5 feet off the ground."
No, I definitely thought he was gonna go out the window at some point because he just fucking like locks himself in the room, and I'm like, "Where are you going? Where do you think you're gonna go?"
He just closes the door.
Oh yeah, and then he like pushes himself against it, and for some reason, Sarah can't fucking.
Sarah Connor.
What about the teacher who we see that has a cell phone refusing to call 911 when she sees a massacre?
What's she gonna tell them? Hey, this cool spider lady is doing stuff.
Bodies in this house.
Well, to be fair, I think the mindset there is, for whatever reason, she has grown this attachment to Peter, who she's known for 3 days. And her first priority is probably, I should see if he's okay.
Check this out, though. Peter! Yeah, it's the house on Sycamore. The creepy one. Peter! Yeah, no, come quickly. There's like 5 bodies in here and a weird scuttling sound. Peter, where the fuck are ya? Yeah, no, I'll be here. Don't worry.
Well, I mean, she took like 2 steps into this house.
Yep.
Was like, wow, there's some fucked up shit going on. Let me call the police.
Really great Halloween decorations.
And then immediately got her shit rocked, right? And then Peter's like, run away. And she's like, come towards you? Run away. You want me to go up the stairs? Also, I dropped my phone. I don't know where it could be. That's what I imagine it went. I'm assuming when she got yoinked by Sarah Connor of Earth, that she dropped her phone and it broke.
I just watched
Terminator.
Like, well, no. You made the same joke in one of our earlier episodes. I can't remember which one it was. It might have been Tombstone. Because no, was it? I don't know. I just remember you saying John Connor of Earth, and Joe and I both go, "You mean John Carter of Mars?"
No, it was definitely Tombstone, because the guy who plays Ringo is the guy who plays John Connor from Terminator.
Oh yeah, you're right.
John Connor of Earth.
Yeah, but see, this one was in real time. My brain processed like, "Oh, Sarah Connor," and then I go, "Wait, say of Mars, it'd be even better."
Of Mars, but she's of Earth.
Sarah Connor, get out of the pit. Also, the shots from the side of like the boy in the pit and like the
Sarah I like that.
That was good. That was good stuff. Good mouthfeel on it. Am I right, John? Halloween.
What? I couldn't hear because my microphone wasn't working.
The shots when the boy's in the pit and it's like from the side. You know what I'm talking about? At the end.
The boys in the hood always go hard. I thought it was fine.
It was fine. I thought it was like some. I mean,
I thought it was a cool shot.
I thought it was cool.
I don't know. It's
Did you even watch the fucking movie?
ooh, it's sideways. Good heavens!
He didn't
What
watch
are
the
they thinking of
movie.
next? Rotating the camera while pushing in? I've never heard of such a thing.
I'm really glad that we have Jobe here, who is like really good at, John Halloween, who is pretty good at like analyzing movies and getting it, kind of trying to see them on their level, and then going, yeah, it's all right, Sean.
You gotta meet the movie at its level.
Yeah, I think that's the part where you just kind of are refusing to do that.
So he knows he has to get out of character to rebuke us because John Halloween would never turn down the spirit of Halloween like this.
Well, in the spirit of giving, such is the nature of Halloween, I'll let you have it. I don't give a fuck.
Wait, whose pick was this? Was this Trace?
Yeah,
I shit my fucking pants. I was so scared.
I don't want to jinx it or say
Ooh,
This episode
incriminating to myself.
sucks. John Halloween was bad. Bring Ian.
absolutely jizzed in horror when Anthony Starr blinked fast.
My favorite part is when Job screams. Sorry, John Halloween.
Oh!
Wonderful.
This is gonna be the worst episode to listen to.
If you wanted me to leave, just say so and I'll leave.
No.
Anyways,
Anyways,
I almost missed the E85.
also when she was like, when Sarah Connor of the Pirates of the Caribbean
Nice.
franchise,
Good.
You can't repeat jokes. It's a well-known fact on here.
Yeah, it's only new bits, remember? When she was at the end telling him, like, I'm gonna, like, every time you're, like, closing a door or sleeping, you'll be thinking about me. And I'm like, damn, it's kind of fucked up. But she's right, as a little, impressionable 14-year-old boy that this kid is, this stuff will have a lasting impression on you. And, like, just, like, stuff like that, It was a good freaky little thing to end on. And I'm like, hey, they should probably just put her down like the dog she is. You know what I'm saying? That's where Trace would have been. Stand aside, Mrs. Substitute, and pull out his daddy's old PB gun.
If Trace was in this movie, he would have prayed to Jesus to save him.
Trace would have mixed up a fucking Molotov with his spit, his fucking ass hairs, and a shoe and killed Sarah Connor of Mars while he was in the pit.
The ass hairs
and
is the fuse.
the last wave out of there.
So Marshall touched on a point that is actually kind of a valid point that I was considering talking about. Of why didn't they just kill her? Not like at the end of the movie, like the parents. Clearly, she's some kind of freak that they don't want to have around because they're keeping her a secret. Why not just be done with it?
Trace, because sometimes people don't want to kill other people.
They killed a little girl.
They killed a little girl, but this is their
But that's
daughter.
not even confirmed.
This is their
It could have
daughter.
been Sarah that killed the little girl.
We have no other side of the story to refute it.
This is like hoodwinked.
Yeah.
There's no other side of the story.
We have no choice.
Your
but
story, there's my story, then there's the truth.
The truth is that they worked together to kill the girl.
They were deranged. 2, they were deranged. 3, and they didn't want to kill their little girl.
Little girl.
3, they probably had Boys to Men tickets, and so they couldn't go and kill the girl.
But like, okay, so also the side of this is she was able. She tells us that she was able to crawl around the house and like scratch her way through the wood to get to Peter's room. Claw out of the fucking house.
No, I mean, not really. She just scratched a hole. I mean, if you remember when she was like chasing after Billy the Kid, when he's in the wall and they follow the track, there's nothing like that's like a hole. It's just kind of like the in-betweens of the house. I'm assuming she just was like...
It's a pretty decent amount of wood she dug through.
Yeah.
I don't think she did. I think it's just like what's like the gaps in between them. It looked like they were like perfectly 90 degrees, and I don't think she's
even
like...
so, all the time she spent... Hold on, I'm not John Halloween. Even so, all the time she spent doing all that dumb shit, she could have just dug her way out.
And that's the only point I'm making in it of it's an old house. The wood's probably, not completely rotted, but it's probably getting softer.
She's best friends with the rats. They can
She's best
chew
friends with the
half
rats,
her.
and she clearly has some enhanced strength. I would.
I'm gonna follow your point up with why didn't she do the logical thing, saying that she's been living in the walls her whole life, and maybe she's not in her right mind, given that her whole life
fair.
she just
she
wants
has
to have
the mental fortitude
Shut the
to
fuck
say,
up. Let me talk. She just wants to see Billy be as miserable as possible and do the same things that their parents did to her to him and possibly kill him. Yes, Jobe. John Halloween.
you really brought it together on that second half. You saved your point.
See, this is why you let people finish their fucking sentence.
No, it's much more fun to own the hater.
I do understand the point of her being insane because the idea that she wants to get revenge on her brother is clearly deranged, because why wouldn't she? You'd think she'd want more revenge on the parents for doing this kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, her motives there makes me understand why she didn't. But before she goes crazy, you'd think that she would have at least tried to get out.
Maybe she did, but she didn't have the faculties to do that at that point.
She wasn't strong
She was
enough.
born a monster.
All right, she did say "born this way," and even though it was a little scary scene, my head went, "And I was born this way." I'm not gonna sing the whole
That's
thing.
how you get it. That's how you get. That's how you get out of being scared in this movie.
That's the only way to do it. Yeah, I thought there was a shot. I'm not completely sure if this is me losing my mind or it was shot like this, where she was like chasing someone around the walls or something like that, and her legs were like hinged the other way. Is that
it did look like it. I know what you're talking about. That's the part I wish they would give us a little bit clearer shots on her.
There's a shot where the kid is like walking away from the piano and you see her on the back and she's scuttling like a normal person would scuttle up a wall, which was a great thing just to see her just like slowly moving the back.
That thing normal people.
Well, if someone was
did
doing
it last week,
standing up regularly, they're just kind of like like this, right? But
like a Spider-Man crawl.
Yeah, like a Spider-Man crawl. But there's one where she's like on the ground chasing Billy. I think that her knees are bent the other way.
Yeah,
Or she's doing like a backhand, like.
Well, she was getting her hair yanked on that one.
She was doing that, but like, I also don't understand that one. Like, why couldn't she just like go with Billy, like let herself go down, beat the shit out of Billy, and come back up? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unless she was like stuck.
I don't think so, but also like I think she's forgetting that like hair can twist, because she could have just like gone from her little bridge to just spin around.
She didn't learn that. She never went to school.
She probably never went to tumbling.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like the amount of strength that Billy has to just hold her down with what we've seen and climb up the wall and have her not move.
She's got some serious upper body strength for an 8-year-old.
Dude, this kid's like 29. I don't know what you're talking about.
I disagree.
I mean, sure, if you want to. That's going to drop your movie score, though.
Ooh, the scariest thing to do this Halloween.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I get it.
Hate your friend's movie choice.
So scary.
This year for Halloween, I'm picking Aliens 3.
God, we already watched Aliens 3.
I'm picking it again. No.
No, you're not.
You're right. Maybe I'll have a different outcome this time.
Not this time.
My question. The girl, Sarah wanted her parents dead. And she, at the end of the movie, we see she's capable of just pulling a strapping young man under a piano and immediately having blood shoot and spurt out. Why didn't she ever kill her parents? Like, I feel like she would have very easily been able to escape when they fed her.
Well, they probably like had like a tube in the wall kind of thing, you know what I'm saying?
Well, they never established that.
Well, did they need to?
Yes, they need to.
I don't know, man.
I mean, they have the shot of her going to the door behind the clock. I can't remember the door off the top of my head, but I want to say it almost has
black.
like one of those. Okay, well, thank you. I want to say it has like one of those prison things where you like pull the thing down and you could just like slide a tray in.
I think so.
Well, then I don't know. I was helping out. I was trying to help Marshall. I was extending a branch to him to give his point some validity, and then he got
Trying
me
to
down.
come to me, Trace, and help me
Yeah.
out after what you did with Power Rangers.
We're still
Think I'll
on
fucking
that?
forgive you for that.
Yes, because Jobe's the one who betrayed you.
Never.
Marshall.
No.
Marshall remembers the Alamo, and he's pissed about both sides.
Well, let's think about the Alamo for a minute while we take our patented Capri Sun break, and we'll get back to this in a moment.
What's up, gamers? We're back from our Capri Sun break, and we're ready to talk about this fucking movie.
Yeah, John Halloween. We took him out to pasture. He got a little sick.
John Halloween turned into a level 2 ghost.
Yeah. Taking her out to pasture. Let's see. For me, I think the only part that was a little weird was the pumpkin scene where he's like, "Oh, these pumpkins are rotted." I didn't get it entirely. I don't know if it was supposed to be like a symbolism or like he sees the rat poison or something like that. It was
No,
just to
I
me,
think
it was
it's
just
supposed to be. It seemed like a red herring to me.
Whatever, man. 6 out of 10. Fuck it.
No, Joe, what were your thoughts on Pumpkin?
I thought they were gonna be like having him dig his own grave or something.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then they're just
But then it just like doesn't go anywhere.
right.
Well, I thought it was supposed to be like a red herring because it seems like the dad's almost insinuating like you have to get rid of the bad to make room for the next batch, and implying we're gonna kill you now and try for another kid.
These are varying levels of reach.
I also thought that for a second because I'm like, oh, there could be like a very meta symbolism, highly illiterate people, but I'm like, no way, this movie's been pretty much on the fucking nose the whole time, right? Like,
yeah, I think my hope for the movie was probably that it was just going to do kind of like the Babadook thing, where it uses the relationship between a child and parents to kind of create a sort of monster. But no, the monster was just a monster, and the parents act in the dumbest way possible at any given moment.
I don't know. I kind of like that the monster was actually just like a real thing for like because like I said earlier, like part of the movie, you're thinking like, is it because he's having these nightmares and a lot of like conjuring and shit like that. There's like kids will have nightmares and it'll be the demon trying to get through them, blah blah blah. But then he's just having a fucking nightmare. And kids can have nightmares about all sorts of things, including weird, scary, Kim Possible episodes. Looking at you.
He's looking at you,
Jobe.
kid. My mother's recipe for meatball spaghetti lasagna. I'm referencing something. You can't make fun of me.
What's the reference?
It's what was it? Yu-Gi-Oh! Heart of the Cards by Rice Pirate.
I don't know, man. You're the one that's referencing it. Fuckhead.
You're the one that asked, bitch.
Why'd you reference something we don't know about?
Marshall definitely knows because I showed it to him like 50 times.
I don't.
Maybe I do. Maybe I don't.
I think
And that's the heart of the cards.
It's not that I dislike the supernatural aspect. I just think that if they wanted to do that, I would have preferred if, I don't know, the parents weren't so obviously bastards on top of everything else.
Yeah, it was weird.
Like, even at the end of it all, sure, their kid was a monster, but they locked their child in a basement.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it does kind of lead into one of those things of like, she probably is the way she is because she was treated so horribly. Had she not been, put in a cage, trapped in the basement, thrown into the walls, Yeah, she would have looked like a freak, but she probably would have been a decent enough person if they hadn't mistreated her.
You can look like a freak, but be a nice person, right?
Look at me.
Aw, stop it. You're adorable, you know that.
No, fuck off. Anyway.
All right, I'm sorry.
Never do that again. I'll tell you who's fine, though, the Miss Divine.
I thought you would have an affinity for Miss Divine.
Why? Because she's got a shelf?
Yeah.
We respect women here on the film set.
She's a very pretty person. I don't remember the actress's name.
Mrs. Divine. It's a real story.
Cleopatra Coleman.
No, it's a real story, Trace. Did you not hear me when I said it was a real story?
No, I heard you.
Oh.
I love that Jobe is getting
It's
closer.
a real story.
So what was this deal with fucking Brian being like the worst piece of shit to
He
bully the
sucks
kid?
at being a bully, though.
Brian,
I don't know. You did the bullying part. He's like, all right, I got to go beat this kid up.
shoving
All
this
right,
kid down every day.
What else does he need? You know, like
Were they just gonna kill him though?
I don't know.
I mean, I think they're just gonna beat him
when
up.
I saw them all roll up, all I was thinking was a Doyle's rule, a Doyle's rule.
I got that, and then they pulled the masks down, and I immediately thought of Payday, and I was like, they're gonna walk in and kill that entire
They're gonna run
family.
a drill through his vault.
It was really weird. No, he look. I don't know. Bullying kids at that age is just weird to me, because like you're all weird and awkward.
Yeah, why are you bullying kids that age, Trace? Bully some kids your age. Fucking.
I don't know. They might have been in 6th grade. I have nothing to.
He was like,
No,
what?
they're like elementary school. They had recess.
That's a good point.
3, 4 years old.
Yeah, probably 3 or 4 years old would be.
I would say like 8.
I'm thinking 8.
I'm thinking maybe 46.
8 would put them around 3rd or 4th grade.
About 46. Any takers?
Yeah.
That's why
Okay, we got.
I would think it would be really funny. All the other actors stay the same. Peter just becomes Dane DeHaan and still shoves him down a flight of stairs.
That's pretty funny.
Once again, Dane DeHaan takes it way too far.
Damn it, Dane DeHaan, you son of a bitch.
So the design of Sarah, though, I like that they actually put some thought into the fact that she's been trapped in the walls for damn near a decade, it seems, because she's got some long ass hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts, or is just the long hair was doing it for you, Trace?
No, well, I just was appreciating it. I was opening it up for discussion.
Oh, I like the long hair, and then the fact that you don't get to see her except for like the very end for like 30 seconds, and you're like, ew, she looks fucking ugly. Good thing
I wish we got a little bit more of her.
Kept her in the fucking pit.
I for one, I really dug the long hair, and I liked that we didn't really see much of her until the very end.
Yeah, no, like I was saying, really dig the long hair thing.
I'm gonna
because you see it right, and it's like on the wall, and you're like, oh my god, that's Sarah Connor on Mars.
I know Madison's listening to this. You're seeing what I'm seeing, right? You're understanding what's going on here. I'm not the only one.
Because it's Sarah Connor of Earth, Trace.
Yep. No, it's great. It's good. It's good stuff.
I just think it's really cool how like there will be a kid running from danger, and he'll trip.
What's up, danger?
He'll be like, "What's up, danger?" And then,
no, I doubt it. And he'll die, and then he'll be like, "What's up, danger?" And then boom, hair.
Yeah, you get what I'm going for.
Yeah, like I said, it's nice to see. Like, you won't be able to see the actual Sarah Connor of Mars, but you'll see the hair of Sarah Connor of Mars just hanging around, and you're like, "Oh, that's Sarah Connor of Mars's hair. She's at the other end of this." But then Chekhov gun style, it comes back at the end where they're like, "We'll grab Sarah Connor of Mars, of Earth, hair, and we'll pull her down." Besides the last hair, long hair, what else did you enjoy?
The last hairbender.
All right.
That's actually not a bad title.
To give an actual thought and not just a shitty bit,
No. The bit wasn't shitty. You take that back.
All right, I'll take it back. That bit was fire.
It was pretty good. Trace gets all butthurt. Look at him, poor baby Trace. So sad.
Hey, no, it's okay. I was trying to have just like an actual discussion, but it's
discussion
okay.
Consisted of saying I like long hair.
No, my discussion was, what do we think of the monster design? Because I enjoyed X, Y, or Z, and then that was supposed to prompt this is something I enjoyed about it as well. But instead it was, you know what?
Remember when Marshall was messaging us earlier, and he was like, "We can't be mean to each other anymore."
No, it was Madison saying that Marshall's too mean.
Oh shit, she's gonna have a field day with this one.
Yeah, no, it's okay though.
Stating truth.
Truth.
What's that meme? They hated him because he spoke the truth.
Are you comparing yourself to Jesus right now? Just don't do that face, you fucking.
You know who else had long hair besides Sarah Connor of Earth?
James Hatfield.
Lots of people probably.
I think so. I said Cheshire Cat earlier, and that is what it made me think of when we did actually see her face. I will say I'm a sucker for just the fucking. He opens the door and we just see the two little blue eyes, and then
I hated that.
I kind of wish they just kept that. Like, in the mass of her hair, all we see are just like two little beady eyes and her toothy grin.
They do like the Gollum thing from Lord of the Rings, where it like does that little like cat-like reflection. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I
would have really dug it if they just kept her face at that. It would have made it feel more like scary stories to tell in the dark or some shit.
Yeah, because even though she had long hair, it looked like she brushed it pretty meticulously because it was pretty straight.
I don't know about that meticulously.
Maybe she just has naturally straight hair.
I mean, maybe, but like
nice stringy hair.
I feel like if you're crawling around the walls, it's gonna get tangled up and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
You want to know how she got so strong? Is he threw her hair over like the rafters and then used that to do pull-ups.
Oh,
a little fun home workout idea for those at home.
Yeah, you have hair that's 8 feet long.
Dear listener, if you're living in your family, consider this fun at-home activity. Or in-home activity, rather. That's Marshall's examining. This is our performance review. It's happening live. Marshall, would you describe my performance in the past year as exceptional, acceptable, or below acceptable?
It varies. Some days you have exceptional. Some days you have way below expectations.
What would today be? Yeah.
The John Halloween wasn't your best bit. Let's put it that way.
It wasn't a bit. John Halloween was here. And then
John Halloween, as your stand-in, who you approved and sent the required paperwork in for, was a bad stand-in.
Okay, but
E85 was better.
E85 was gas even?
Nah, it was more like
85% gas.
85% gas.
I'm Christmas Tim.
You're a couple months early. We weren't expecting you for a while.
I thought we were doing Nightmare Before Christmas.
Christmas time is here. What else do we want to talk about?
Man, let's talk about sex, baby.
Something I want to mention was the creature design and the long hair was really
fuck off.
You know, I think it would have been really cool if they had just like kept it like I don't like just the eyes, and maybe if like the hair was just like down, you'd like only see the eyes on that level,
and like her little grin.
Yeah. Fuck it. What if she came out with just like a little short bob? You know what I'm saying?
What if
what if they revealed her and she just has like a really like just a very distinguished mole on her cheek, and they're like, oh my gross, she's a monster.
Came out. Look at her, and it's like Legally Blonde. Just like, she's blonde.
Icky. Gross. What? Her hair was like almost gray. I assume that's probably just like the dust settling, but her hair looks really old.
Yeah.
Maybe
she also sounded really old. That's what I want to know. How the fuck does she sound like a 6-year-old? And then later on, she's like, "Thanks for the help,
The
Toots.
supernatural.
I owe you one."
She's probably been perfecting her impression.
When did she practice? Huh?
In the walls.
What
at
else did she have
night
to
when
do?
Everyone was asleep in the pit.
Just kind of sit there
She was
twiddling her
saying-
It would
hair.
be a
He
funny.
was saying,
It would be a funny.
I was saying
It was a funny little scene where she's practicing her 6-year-old voice, like, "Mommy, can I go to the playground?" And there's Bing and Wall like, "Yeah, keep it down in there. The fuck's wrong with you?"
I imagine there was probably just like,
There was
as a
there was
child, she wanted to play
With like
house.
3 to 6 month trial period where they had to train the sounds out of her.
I do have to say, earlier, Trace, you mentioned that the dishwasher got really loud, and so that's why she couldn't hear the boy banging on the
Yeah.
wall. And it wasn't the dishwasher;
It was the
Oh,
washing machine.
did I say dishwasher? That's on
You
me.
did.
I apologize.
If you think about it,
I'm
though,
cool.
if you throw your dishes in the laundry machine, they're gonna get washed.
I'll own up to it. I was foolish, and that entirely does validate all of the mean
That
things
does
Marshall does to
justify
me.
the bullying.
Yeah, I deserve everything that comes to me now.
Yes.
Ever.
That does what to you?
I meant it.
So I think next week we should wear some long wigs. Start calling everybody
Oh my
dog.
Because we're watching the P movie.
Because we're in the walls. Anyways, if I was a substitute teacher and I heard Billy saying run, my ass would have gotten out of there immediately.
Yep.
As one point, and the other point when they actually unlock the door and are about to leave, she just leaves his ass, and then he gets yoinked, and I would have been like, "Damn, teacher kind of sucks."
They're like, well, I saved the kid. Not my fault. He got fucking trapped again.
I'm not gonna save him
This is-
again.
I hit my quota. I'm a substitute teacher. If I was a real teacher, I'd do it twice.
I also love how she goes downstairs and she's like, "If you try to hurt him, I'll fuck you up," and then she immediately gets her shit rocked.
Demolished immediately.
She's
Like,
like,
Sarah was like, "Oh, will you now? Okay, good." And then just crawls around.
Yeah,
I
so
hated
that's
the-
jazz.
I hated the
It's time of
ending
music.
myself.
Why'd you hate it?
It felt super rushed. It felt like they were making the movie, and then one day Seth Rogen
was like, "I'm done throwing money at this shit." Fuck, is my mic not working?
Yeah, but I imagine you can hear it through my mic.
Yeah, no, Seth Rogen was definitely like, "Hey, this movie's already an hour and a half long. We got to finish it off. We have to.
So
We got to stop edging this movie
Like,
for the. No.
I feel like the movie just hit a point where Seth Rogen was like, "I'm done throwing money at this shit. Cut it off. Get it done. Do whatever it takes." And they couldn't record the last 20 minutes, 15 minutes of the movie, and they're like, "Shit, we got to end it now." So then they just have that little shitty monologue, and then have the boy go, "Yeah," and then die. And the whole fucking movie was for nothing.
So this is the thought I'm having now in terms of our organization here. We are just on one track through OBS. Jobe and I could have been on the same mic.
Could have, but you guys didn't think about that.
Yeah, I thought this would be better.
Turns out,
yeah.
it's not.
I was agreeing with Jobe that whole time when he couldn't hear me. Definitely Seth Rogen was like, "This movie's an hour and a half long. It does not need to be 2 hours long. We just got to end it here. Fucking get the bitch to have a fire poker and stab the fuck out of Sarah Connor of Terminator franchise."
Well, but that's the other side of it. Of it's an hour and a half long. They could just draw out some more, and it would have not felt so.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If this movie was 2 hours long, I'd be very upset.
I don't think it needs to be 2 hours long, but just add maybe another 15-20 minutes of.
If this was an
content.
hour and 45 minutes, I would also be very upset.
I just think that they could have. I would have liked to see a little bit more nightmare sequence for Peter, because we get one nightmare sequence, and I feel like we should have had a little bit, maybe 2 or 3 nights of nightmares, and they build up to what he experienced, instead of just one nightmare, balls to the wall, freak him out, never touch on it again.
Listen, they just take out the pumpkin scene, take out them saving a fucking spider, add a couple of establishing shots of the substitute being nice to Billy the Kid, add a couple more nightmares in there, would have been fine.
Yeah.
I am of the
Disagree.
Well, I agree with most of what y'all are saying, but this is something that I just want to throw out real quick is I for one I understand that the dream sequence or the nightmare is like one of the few bits that are actually scary, but it also doesn't add anything to the movie beyond being the only scary bit. And it's like
there's some validity to the nightmare rather than just this one-off.
I agree if it was like leading to a possession or something where like yeah his fucking internal clock he's ready.
I disagree because I think there was other scenes in the movie that were scary, just me. But I also think having maybe just the one, or maybe if they had two nightmare sequences, lends itself to thinking, hey, is this actually demonic possession? Because that's a trope you see, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
Versus if we just have like none or you have too many, then it's like, oh, they completely 180'd us versus this just having one nightmare. It's like, oh, it could be a possession. It could just be he's having a nightmare.
So in the nightmare, how do we feel about how it kind of looked to start? Because there was that one rug that was spinning, and it took all of my attention to the rug the whole time it was on
that's
screen.
the other thing is like the second I saw that I was like, oh, this is a nightmare sequence because nothing else like this happens in the movie. So immediately I'm just like, there's no like actual threat here, even within the suspension of disbelief.
Which I know that they want us to know it's a nightmare, but we get that once he wakes up.
Yeah. I mean, I think one thing is it's off to the side, so it's not like immediately going, hey, this is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like kind of thing, but also it's kind of like stuff. I mean, especially in a lot of horror movies, stuff happens in nightmares that could be like a forewarning or like maybe like if it's a possession thing, like stuff you see in nightmares, it's like, oh, it's real form, and I saw it in a nightmare, yada yada yada. So there's still just like something there, and they just want to make you think, okay, it's a nightmare, it's not real, but like this is some weird imagery, weird stuff that he's seeing in this nightmare.
Yeah.
So what's the meaning behind it?
It doesn't seem to have a lot of meaning because the I don't know, the caricatures that he has of his parents seem a little just kind of inconsistent with.
He's like 15,000 years old. What do you expect?
I guess so.
Wait, who's 15,000?
Peter, I think.
Billy the Kid.
Billy Peter the Kid.
Oh yeah, I forgot Billy the Kid was in this.
But I did think the nightmare sequence was I think that I thought that the nightmare sequence was okay with the mob because Daddy Homelander didn't really add much to it. I think he was just kind of weird, sitting there fluttering his eyes at his child, whereas the mom was actually actively creepy.
Are we calling this one Daddy Homelander? Because I think that's a pretty good title.
We can do that. We can call it Daddy Homelander.
Sarah Connor of Mars.
That's also
I was also considering
Sarah Connor
Sarah's hair.
Well, I don't want to spoil what the podcast is going to be about,
Everyone else can make fun of Trace.
Because if it's on Mars, like, oh shit, is this John Connor of Mars?
But if they read the description, they'll know it's not.
Nobody reads the descriptions.
Aw, poor Marshall.
Or if they listen to last week's episode when they we said, hey, we're going to be watching Cobweb.
Which, I don't know. I feel like a Cobweb as a name is a little misleading because
it doesn't mean anything in the context of the movie.
Like it's weird because we get the spider
is cobwebs because she's been grabbing all the cobwebs when she's running around.
Dude,
that's
you would think there'd be no more cobwebs. You'd think the brush would just kind of.
No, the brush made the intertwine. It braided the one strand of hair to the spider's silk.
Dude, now
she became Spider Woman.
Now that you've tied the title of the movie to her hair, I'm kind of in love with that part of the design now. Just kind of the long hair.
I really think the long hairs were really sold me on this fucking movie.
I'm sorry. It was right there. I had to. Marshall ooped it. I had to slam it. You know,
Jobe said, look, there's a tree. It's got fruit on it. And here's a pretty low one. Let me just grab this one.
I hope the tree falls on me.
anyway,
You know what they say? Does a tree falls in
Does
the
a
forest?
if a trip fifths in the fifths.
Then was there
Marshall,
even
be
a
honest.
bear?
How much whiskey is in that cup?
This was all
Mystery.
straight cane sauce, baby.
I like canes, but that's too much.
Anyways, Marshall, I'm gonna give a thought on the movie.
I was about to say your last name.
Marshall.
God, it was good. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Accurate.
Okay, it's gonna 7.277 because it's not as good as Power Rangers, but it's still good.
It's better than Power Rangers.
No,
my God.
no. I gave it a good score, so you guys have to go back and give Power Rangers a 10.
Okay, you can all go back and give Power Rangers a real score now.
The bit's over.
Let's go re-record Power Rangers to give it our actual score this
Oh
time.
my god. We recorded for a bit, I feel like.
Well, I mean, we had a long.
I guess. We've definitely had
there.
shorter.
No, shut the fuck
I
up.
think-
I
I
already
think
gave my
we've hit-
score.
Yeah,
Joe,
we've
give
hit
your
our
score.
Do you want
quota time.
Jobe's score or do you want John Halloween?
Give us Job and then John Halloween.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll give
And add 'em
Jobe's score.
together.
We'll let Trace go, and then I'll get John Halloween back in here. For me, I'll admit it. I liked going back to a cheesy horror movie for the podcast. It was nostalgic. However, this one, it's kind of inconsistent in terms of quality. Sometimes I'm like, this is actually pretty solid, and then there are other times where I'm like, this is fucking stupid. But I think I gave a pretty fair 6 out of 10.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I was there, but that last like 30 minutes was like really kind of did it for me. I don't know.
That's where I expected you to be kind of scared. It was either that or like the 5 seconds of the nightmare where the mom's running at it was
Dude,
where I
that
thought it
was
would get you.
Ah!
It's like I'll be real. That was suspenseful for me. Where I was just like, the lights
I
off.
know-
When is she gonna run?
I know she's coming. I know I saw her run. I saw the 12 lights. I know she's coming, and there she is. And I'm terrified again.
And I'm screaming. I'll probably have a little bit of a bias because I just like the horror movie, and I'm actually kind of impressed with this being such a new movie for horror, and like lately horror movies have just fallen off so hard. So this one actually not being really all that bad. I quite enjoyed watching it, and I thought it held up a lot of suspense, how it should have. And I don't think we saw like, again, I think I want to see more of Sarah, but at the same time, I kind of don't. I want to see her.
Done. I think it's done.
I want to see her like look creepier, I guess, but like less than we saw her maybe. But I'll give it. I'm gonna give it a 7.5. For this one.
That's a fair score.
I thought about giving it like an 8 or something, but I feel like that's just a little bit too high because it could have been. There's just some stuff they could have done better.
John Halloween is bad. John Halloween, what did you give this movie on a scale?
Ooh, fuck.
John Halloween has technical issues once again.
Ooh.
Nope.
No, you can hear
Oh
him.
wait.
You have the fucking balls to ask me back on after you ejected me from the show?
Excuse
I had
me,
to
John Halloween. Joe came up to me during our Capri Sun break and said, "Hey, I can take him out to pasture right now. Do you want me to do it?" And I didn't even say anything. He said, "Okay, I'll do it."
Ooh.
Did I say your full name again?
Yes,
God damn
yes, you
it.
did.
That's okay. Just edit in a spooky noise.
Joe. There you go.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get Brownie to record just a quick.
I mean, that was it.
Anyway.
What's your score, Mr.
Ooh, don't be
Halloween?
surprised if Jobe doesn't make it to next week's episode. But I, for one, as the Meisner of Halloween, would give this flick a 10 out of 10.
You actually. It's actually good. Okay. All right.
There's no in between scores. Anything spooky gets a 10. Anything not spooky gets a 0.
All right,
That's
thank you.
totally fair.
Next week
I
we are
float away to the ether.
Loud every time.
A Jobe pick. We're watching Ghostbusters. What are you gonna call?
Oh, dude, we're getting Rick Moranis back. That'll be a good time. I haven't seen that in a while, man.
Yeah, I know, right? I haven't seen it since it came out. Hey, catch us everywhere on YouTube,
But where?
Spotify.
Where is it that they're gonna see us or find us?
Our handle is at Film Bluffs Pod. We're Film Bluffs.
I'll give you a
Recommend
handle.
us to your friends. Tell your mailman and your dog. Yeah, we'll catch you next week for Ghostbusters. Bye now.